This page is used to add or edit registrants for a particular state conference or regional conference event on the site. First thing you need to do is pick which event you want to register for. Notice if I choose the Texas Region 2 Skills Conference, I don't have an option to add any registrants because this event is not open for new registrations. But if I go to the State Skills Conference, there is an Add Registrant button because this event is open. So if you don't see Add Registrant, it just means that event is not open yet. To add a new registrant, I'm just going to click the Add Registrant button. And here I can choose what particular type of registrant I am. Am I an advisor or an observer? You might have different options here depending on what your state director has configured. If I want to register a contestant, then I can choose from the list of members that could compete in this particular event. Notice that you can see whether the members have been submitted and paid or not. Many state directors can configure the site so that you're not allowed to register to compete if you haven't joined as a member or haven't paid. So if you notice an error or warning message about not being able to join an event because you haven't joined SkillsUSA yet, that's why, because you've not submitted your membership. Let's say I want to register Travis, Tom Travis. He's a student in plumbing. I want to register him for a plumbing contest. Your state may choose to display these categories. Or you may not see the categories, you may just see all of them at once. But I want to scroll down this list and find plumbing. I can just type P and it'll race down there real quickly. Plumbing is the contest I want. Now if that's it, if Travis is only, or Tom is only competing in plumbing, I can click Save and Continue. But Tom is going to compete in another contest too. So I'm going to click Add Another Contest. And notice at the bottom it'll say this contest is going to be added whenever we finish, plumbing as a contestant. Tom is also going to compete in a leadership contest, let's say job interview. And then once I've done that, I can save and continue. Or if you're going to continue adding contests with the same kid, you just keep hitting Add Contest and add 3 or 4 or 5 contests, however many he's going to be in. When I click Save and Continue, it'll take me to the details page where I can fill out the rest of the information about Tom. I'll need to pick his shirt size. I can fill in his home address. I need to put in his date of birth. If I put his date of birth into membership, it'll automatically carry that over. His gender will carry over. And at the bottom, you can see that he's configured in job interview and plumbing. If I needed to add a third contest at this point, I could just click Add Contest from here and add another contest. But that's all I need to do. I'm ready to save Tom's registration by the Save button here or up here at the top. And then I want to go and add Travis or Tom's parents. Maybe Tom's dad is going to come with him to the state conference. So I'll add registrant again. This time instead of a contestant, I want to add a parent would be an observer. And that's not really going to be a SkillsUSA member, so I'm not going to see Tom's parents here. I'll just type in Tom's parents' name directly. Let's say it's Brad Travis. Save and continue. Takes me to the same page. Notice this is a professional. He's not a student. I can choose what training program he's in. He's coming with his kid. His son is in building trades, so I'll put him there. Put in his home address. Need to pick his shirt size. Need to pick his gender. For parents, if you don't know the parents' date of birth, it's not really important for parents since they're not competing anywhere, but you may get some errors later on if you don't have a date of birth. So I'm not sure exactly when his dad was born. I'm just going to put 1/1/1970, for example. And then I can save it. Now you notice I've got Tom Travis and Brad Travis, the parent. Tom is competing in 2 contests. Brad, the parent, is not competing in anything. One other thing we can do is if I'm registering for the state conference, it's quite possible that I've already registered some of these people for a previous conference, maybe a regional conference. Or if you're going to NLSC, maybe you've already registered for a state conference and you want to look up a previous registration. Down here at the bottom right, there's a Look Up Previous Registrations button. When I click that, it will show me any registrations that I have for this school at a past event. So notice some of these people were already registered for the Texas Region 2 Skills Conference, and now I might want to bring them back for the Texas State Skills Conference. So let's say Victor Vandenberg, he was a competitor there. I want to pick Victor and re-register him. And notice it automatically brings me in. It carries over all his information from the prior contest, the prior registration. All I need to do is pick which contest he wants to compete in at this new event. So when I want to register Victor for a particular contest, we click the Add Contest button, and just like the previous screen, we find whatever contest he wants to compete in. Let's say residential wiring, and save it. And now Victor is registered for a contest as well. If you need to edit any details about any of your competition registrants, just click the edit number in front of their row. If we want to change something about Brian, we can come in here and change his date of birth or his shirt size. We can change whatever we'd like. Notice that member names can only be edited by the state director. If you've registered an existing SkillsUSA member for a particular event and you need to change that student, you cannot just change his name. You need to delete that registration and add a new registrant with a different name. When we finished all our registrations, you can generate a fee estimate, which will show you a general idea of what the fees are like for your particular registrations. It's a PDF document you can print out. And when you're ready to submit these registrations so that your state director or the national office will know that you're finished and ready to go, you click the Submit Registration button. And this will give you a verification screen if your state director has configured your particular event for invoices. If you don't see this screen, it just means your state director just simply wants an email and is not handling invoicing through the system, so it's totally fine. You're done. But if you do see this screen, you'll notice what this is giving you is a couple of options for how you want to be invoiced for your particular registrations. In this case, you can choose on the left-hand side to be invoiced per training program. One invoice for plumbing for $120, another invoice for the building trades and renovations for $140, so there would be two invoices for a total of $260 if you choose this direction. Or if you just want one big invoice for your whole school and your whole school is going to pay the whole thing with one big check, you can just get an invoice per school. I'm going to go ahead and do it that way. Just get an invoice for the whole school. Yes, I agree that I'm going to pay the invoice. If you need to put a PO number in there, you can put that PN number in there however you need to. And submit the entire school. This will show you your invoice. And you'll see it's got the list of all the people you had in there, whatever the fees were configured for. And you're all set. If I go back to the previous tab, you'll notice the submission was successful. I can now return back to where I started from, and all these folks have been submitted. I'm all done with my conference registrations.